Well, thank you very much, everyone, for allowing us to present the RaySecur product. I'm Pat Crawford with Safeware. Just want to start by introducing a couple of our team members here at Safeware. They can tell you a little bit about their territory. There's a couple that aren't on that I'll go ahead and speak for them, and then we'll introduce the RaySecur folks, Stacy Fehrenbach and Steve DeSisto, Rebecca LaFosse, and certainly Miles Cathers on this call. So this is going to be very informative. We want to make sure that we're keeping your mailroom secure, safe, and that you're able to actually speed through mail interrogation, find any anomalies, and be able to pick out any illicit drugs or items that might be coming through your facility. So we want to make sure we're focusing on that, and that's exactly what RaySecur does. And so with that being said, the first thing I'd like to say is within the territories, Bradley Brown, he covers our Western Maryland, Northern Maryland, and West Virginia territory down to Southern Maryland through the southern parts of Virginia. Chris Chappelle, he's our federal teams member, and he would be splitting some accounts with me, and we handle the U.S. Postal Service, U.S. Secret Service, as well as some of our other federal accounts that might be doing mail screening. And then my other teammate, Christine Lawrence, I'll let her introduce herself and what she does.
Yeah, Christine? Hi, I'm Chris. Yeah, thanks, Pat. So my name is Christine Lawrence. I've been with Safeware since 2016, and I cover Northern Virginia. So I have Loudoun all the way down to Arlington. I have most of the state agencies within the state of Maryland, and then I have Baltimore County, Baltimore City, Anne Arundel, and Howard County. So I spend a lot of my time in the field working on these types of solutions in courthouses as well as corrections. So we're excited about this today. And, like Pat said, we spend our time in the field helping you all work with partners like RaySecur to make sure you have the best solutions to help you all stop any type of threats that you're having.
Perfect. Thank you, Christine. Patrick Crawford here. So I've been with Safeware going on 30 years. I cover DC, some counties within Maryland, Montgomery, Prince George's, Southern Maryland, and out to the state of Delaware. So that's my physical territory. And then I have some responsibility with some federal accounts as well. And the key to Safeware is being able to utilize our cooperative contracts in our territories to help make the purchase very simple and easy to do. And we also work directly with RaySecur to ensure that we can get you demonstrations if we need to personally for your facility, to work with your folks on an individual basis as needed to make sure we're satisfying your needs and keeping everybody safe. So that's a little bit about Safeware. I'd like to turn this over to the folks at RaySecur to start, and they'll do some introductions of themselves and then start right in with the demo. And again, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate that. So Steve DeSisto here. I head up our channels and partnerships here at RaySecur. So I work very tightly with the Safeware team, and I will let our folks introduce themselves. So we'll still go Stacy, then Miles, then Rebecca.
Hey, good afternoon. This is Stacy. I am the East Coast sales representative for RaySecur. I cover Maine down to Miami, and working with Safeware has been very encouraging, and I'm happy to have this webinar.
Good afternoon, Miles Cathers, Director of Security, CBRNE Advisory Services for RaySecur. My background is 11 years military bomb disposal. Rebecca?
Rebecca LaFosse, Director of Security, focusing on customer enablement. My background is law enforcement, did a decade, last 6 years assigned to the DEA for interdiction.
Thank you, team. So again, appreciate you guys joining this webinar. I'm going to bore you with some PowerPoint slides. I apologize for that. I will be quick though. So and then we'll get into Miles, who is actually going to do the demonstration of our MailSecur product. Just a little bit about RaySecur. Headquartered out of Boston, Massachusetts, or just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. We have a research and development facility up in Quebec City, Canada. And what's not on the slide, we actually manufacture our products in the state of New Hampshire, which is just north of Massachusetts. And as you can see, we're deployed in many large corporations. We do some screening for the G8 security summits. And we are our largest vertical market is in corrections and law enforcement market, and we also screen for some government agencies as well. Real quick, we're a National Lab spin-out. We received the Designated Safety Act sort of seal of approval there. We're the only mail screening product in that category, which is really nice. And the reason for that is we can detect all 9 substances that the Department of Homeland Security designates as threats. And then we won some awards along the way, so it's always nice to get a few attaboys and attagirls. So we appreciate those. Really quick, right while you're here today, you can kind of see this slide, right? Inundated correctional facilities today are inundated with drugs coming into their facility. We like to say here they come in 3 different ways, right? Through the front door, over the walls, and through the mail. And in real particular, the privileged or legal mail that comes into your facility, we're able to screen that without affecting any of the laws that you folks have to live by. Real quick, here's a quick value prop slide. Right, so the key, and I talk about legal mail, right? We maintain privacy and confidentiality because we don't have to open up that package or mail item to be able to detect any contraband that's within that package or envelope. And because we're not opening it, we protect your screeners from those harmful drugs and chemicals that do come into your facility. So we keep your screeners safe from that. And we also, what we found is it actually reduces screening time. You don't have to go calling up, especially in the legal side, calling up the law offices to see if they actually send something in and do all that, or open it in front of the inmate. We can reduce a lot of that time that it takes you to process that legal mail. And because we use a different technology, we're able to detect more contraband and threats that come into your facility. When we talked about the 9 out of 9 threats from DHS. And let me get into how we do that detection and the technology itself. So first of all, you want to think of we call our MailSecur product. We use terahertz wave imaging, so it's non-ionizing, so it's not X-ray, so it's perfectly safe for your screeners to use all day long. So I want to think of it like an ultrasound. We're seeing that live video image inside of that package or envelope. And to do that, and Miles is going to run through and show you all that. But right, sort of takeaway here is non-ionizing, safe for your team to use, and it's a live video image utilizing T-ray imaging. A couple things that we found from our corrections facilities. Right, you can kind of read this little ROI slide here, but we found really it does pay for itself in a short amount of time. Because of the reduced costs on the back end that you incur when you have an inmate overdose or things like that, or God forbid somebody on your staff gets harmed by one of these some contraband that comes in. And finally, this is my last slide here, so I promise to be quick. A lot of our correctional facilities like this mobile cart configuration. They can roll it throughout their facility. You can see it has a battery, roughly 12 to 15 hours of runtime. So you can certainly get a shift out of that. So you can take this to different locations such as intake or potentially even into some cells to do some searches there as well. And with that, I will stop my presentation. And I do have, so if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We're going to monitor them. It's probably important that we answer your questions immediately. while Miles is running through his presentation, so or through his demonstration. So please put your questions in the chat box.
Right. All right. So this is the MailSecur. That last slide that Steve was showing was the MailSecur in the mobile cart configuration. That's what we have here. So our MailSecur has a desktop and a mobile cart configuration. With this one, with that battery, you get that runtime. Once you plug in the MailSecur, you get it set up. You can leave it plugged in, powered on 24/7, 365. As you see here, the system is in standby mode. When you're ready to use it, touch the screen, wakes up, and it's ready to go. Now, the problem that we're having with drug-soaked paper, which Steve was talking about, I'm going to go into showing some samples here. So our system, as we say, can protect the screeners because you don't have to open it and expose yourself to the contents or the material, so we can detect those hazards while they're still contained. With this, what we do is we weigh the mail on the scale that's supplied. So we place this on the scale, we select the type of envelope that we have, and then we hit the scale button. Once it zeroes the deck and brings the weight over, we place it on the deck. Green is clean. Green is normal paper. This is 5 sheets of paper that have been pulled off the ring. That is good, normal, clean paper. This is 5 sheets of paper that have been sprayed with Raid bedbug spray. Place that on the scale. Hit the button, brings the weight over, bring the envelope over. As you see here, those yellows and reds, movement, looks like a lava lamp or bubbles popping. And now when we interact with it, we can't make that go green. This is your drug or chemically soaked paper. Now, our MailSecur, we're not identification, we're detection. Doesn't matter the substance that's on there. If it's supposed to be on paper, we're going to look right through it. This Raid bedbug spray, it's not supposed to be on there, and we get those indications of yellow and red. But if they're sending in things like methamphetamine, so here is a meth concoction. So we place a normal, again, 5 sheets on there. We hit the scale button, bring it over. Normal paper goes green, it's clean. This is our meth simulant. Hit the scale button, bring it over. You got those yellows and reds. Can't make them go away. We do multiple types of envelopes, your 9x12s, 10x13s, your standard envelopes, priority mailers. So we select the envelope type for a standard envelope. We hit the scale button, bring it over. Normal clean paper. The yellow on the edges is normal. That's what we should be seeing as it goes from substance to nothing on the deck, but the paper inside is clean. We take a normal number 10 that has treated paper in it. This is formaldehyde. You bring it over, and you get those yellows and reds. Those lines are much thicker. You see here, we can't make it go green, and you've got indications that something's wrong with this paper. What your screeners are really being taught when we install the MailSecur is normal versus abnormal. They don't have to be experts in image analysis. They just need to know, what does the mail normally look like in our treated paper or our envelopes in flat screening mode? And when abnormal stands out, it's really easy for them to see it. Couple limitations on the system. The treated paper algorithm can detect drug or chemically soaked paper in a stack of 40 pages inside of the envelope. Beyond that, we need to move to our envelopes in flat screening mode. Envelopes in flats, we can see through up to about 100 sheets of paper. I'm going to go ahead and zero the deck. Now, as you see, I've been running my hands with the mail through the screening area. This technology is safe to interact with. It's terahertz or millimeter wave type radio wave energy. We can interact with that all day long. There's no health hazards to that. When we're teaching your screeners normal versus abnormal, we'll also show them this envelopes in flat screening mode, and they get an idea that mail is typically straight lines, symmetrical top to bottom, side to side, and uniform shading. This is 5 sheets of paper folded over. You're looking through 10 layers of paper and the 2 layers of the cardboard priority mailer. Normal mail. Abnormal mail shows up. The shading's not right. It's off. It looks splotchy. And we've got this dark spot in the corner here. Now, if we were running this envelope in the treated paper algorithm, we'd have to place it on here, weigh it, perform all those functions. The envelopes in flat screening mode, we just place it on. But the treated paper will also pick that up. The paper is clean, but we've got that dark mass in there. Just knowing the limitations and what you're screening for the different modes, you can switch between them. You found something in treated paper, you want to investigate it a little bit more, get a better overall picture. You run into your envelopes and flats, and now what we're looking at is something's moving around inside there. You have a large mass of powder. Now, the MailSecur was built around finding the things that an X-ray struggles with, specifically small amounts of powder and then treated paper. I'm going to place again another envelope with 5 sheets of paper folded over. So that 10 layers of paper, normal envelope, normal paper. But if we look at this corner, it's a little bit darker and a little bit bulged there. We give it a little shake and we can see there's a black smudge that's moving back and forth as we move this. Now, if we want to investigate this further, we want better punch through, better detail, we go over to our zoom. Our zoom is 3 times magnification, punches through that denser material and gives you better detail. Here you have the edge of the envelope, edge of the paper, and that dark mass in the corner there. For comparison, a normal corner, edge of paper, edge of envelope. We come back to this corner, we give it a little shake, and we can see whatever that was, it moved, it changed shape. Now as I tilt it, you'll see the individual grains of powder falling back into place. For context, what we have here is a 500 milligram Tylenol, and in this baggie is about a 1/16 of that Tylenol crushed up. That's what we have, approximately a 1/16 of the Tylenol in that envelope. And here you can see it in that baggie. We toss that around a little bit, you can see it moving. So this small amount of powder we're able to detect moving inside of an envelope. Screeners that are accustomed to the MailSecur have gotten so good as to be able to detect a few grains of salt moving in a number 10 envelope. Excuse me. There are some limitations when it comes to the MailSecur. We talked about the treated paper, a thickness of 40 sheets. Beyond that, we need to move to the envelopes and flats. Envelopes and flats, we can see through up to about 100 sheets of paper. Materials that we cannot see through. We can't see through metal and we can't see through liquid. But those limitations are going to work in our favor because when it comes to the mail, metal and liquid is not a common thing in the mail. Outside of staples, paper clips, and binder clips, metal is not common. So this dark spot is going to stand out. You found something abnormal. Let's place our finger on it, move it over to the zoom, take a look. And here you see what appears to be the shape of a box cutter razor blade. A lot of people will say the standard, it's very fuzzy image. I don't got great detail. We detect an anomaly in standard. We investigate it a little bit more in zoom. And here you can see the detail is good enough to pick out the type of item that it is. We can see that, hey, it does appear to be a razor blade. We have a handheld metal detector, so we can confirm the presence of metal. We turn it on, and it might be muting out the sound, but there is an audio and vibratory indication that this is picking up metal right here. So the MailSecur can see through more than just paper. With the limitations of not being able to see through metal and liquid, we can see through plastics, organics, fabrics, all sorts of material. So here's a hard Pelican case, toss it on the deck. We have the ability to manipulate the image in brightness, contrast, and our darkness slider. So we can see that there's something in there, but we don't have a good picture of what it is. Because this is a live image that you can interact with, we can reorient that package into the best viewing angle possible in under a second. Here you see the outline of a firearm inside of that case. And because it's live, if we wanted to see where something is in a larger box or case, we can move it around and see that the item is moving or where it is located in that packaging. The MailSecur also picks up on other threats other than just metal. So we often hear about 3D printed weapons being inquired about. Hey, can we detect that? Here is a 3D printed dagger and a 3D printed revolver. We find that 3D printed material, plastic material like that, tends to show more like its metal counterpart. So we're able to detect those non-metallic objects coming through. Ceramic knives, 3D printed knives. those type of things will be picked up with the MailSecur. Excuse me. So other items, doesn't matter the type of paper, cardboard, cardstock, newspaper, printer paper. Doesn't matter the type of ink that's on there. If it's normal printer ink, glossy ink, anything like that. Here we have a Farmer's Almanac. This is more of a newspaper style. We place it on here. We have 147 sheets or pages in here. So we're looking at this. We adjust the image. And do you see this little hotspot here? Especially as I move it around. You have this rectangular hotspot. Place my finger on it. We'll go over to the zoom. Remove my finger. And we can see that outline there. If you have the ability to interact with the items that you're screening, so if you're doing something like a cell search, you can now open it up, place it on the deck. This side is clean. This side, there's that hotspot. And now because it's that live image, you can flip back and forth trying to find where that item is. So if you have hidden pockets in books, magazines, newspapers, anything like that, what we have here is a Suboxone simulant taped to the page. If you're familiar with Suboxone, you're familiar with the thickness of it. It is a very thin item. We're detecting one Suboxone simulant inside of 147 pages, so 74 roughly sheets of paper. Again, it doesn't matter the type of normal ink, heavily glossy ink covered pages, same thing. We place it on, smooth that out. You've got that shape. Again, this is another Suboxone simulant. We flip the book open. We can see that side's clear. We can see it's there. We move it. We see it's moving. And there we have it, moving back and forth. Again, another Suboxone simulant that even if you were doing a page count, you were flipping through, you may or may not catch that. It blends in very well. With the MailSecur, it's real easy to see. I've got a hotspot. I've got something standing out there. So if your screeners find something abnormal, whether they're using envelopes and flats or they're using treated paper, let's go back to the treated paper one. We select the standard envelope. We hit the scale button. We bring this item over and we see something abnormal then. We want to record a video. We want to create an incident report. You hit video record. It is now recording this window as well as a webcam recording the deck. Whether you're in standard or zoom, when you're done, hit stop. Pops up that you can create an incident report or skip and continue without creating. When we create an incident report, we type in the report ID, the officer name, department location, listed recipient, sender, why you're holding it, and any associated notes that you want to put in there for it. Attached to this incident report will be both of those files. The first one is the video file of what the screener saw that they thought it was suspicious and abnormal. The second video file is the webcam looking at the deck, showing barcodes, tracking numbers, cancellation stamp, who it's to, who it's from, and the condition of the envelope that it hadn't been messed with while it was being screened. When you hit generate report, it creates that report and is now stored on the device. No imagery is captured unless someone hits the record or snapshot button. And when you do hit that, all the imagery and reports are stored locally on the device. Nothing comes off unless a screener or an investigator comes in and pulls it off by sticking a thumb drive in. We go into the backside here. We go to the view incident report. Open this one up. Hit the view report. Here's your PDF report. Shows you all the information that you typed in, as well as the screening mode that the system was in, and all the statistics on the machine, and the video files that are associated with it. Standard date time format for the video files, and the appended to the front end of that date time format is the incident report number that you typed in or created. Those videos are also associated here. If you want to move them, put a check mark next to it, hit copy to drive. It'll pop up that thumb drive. You select it and hit confirm. It now moves a copy over. The reports are not removed or deleted off of the system. You do not have the ability to delete those reports off the system. So no worry about why it went from incident 11 to incident 14 and someone's questioning you, where's incident 12 and 13? They're all here right there for chain of custody purposes. On this system, we understand not every screener is going to use this every day. When you don't use technology on a regular basis, you might forget the finer points on what something's supposed to look like or how you're supposed to use the system. So we embed quick little 1 to 3 minute tutorial videos into the system. This one's showing different samples, clean paper in the treated mode, abnormal paper in the treated mode, and then goes to envelopes and flats and shows you powders, liquids, sharps, electronics, just giving screeners a reference for what different hazard items might look like in the different screening modes. Other things on here are the drop-down menu, the home screen, the inspection zone, how to record videos and transfer files. Under mailroom, you've got general mail safety, visual screening, PPE selection, emergency response planning. And under corrections, you have soft object screening and treated paper detection. If you've watched these videos and you still have a question, we go back. The user manual is embedded in every system. Touch screen, so touch and drag to advance through it. The table of contents is also hyperlinked. You tap the section you want to go to, it snaps you right there. Explains every button, feature, function, everything you need to know about the MailSecur, all right here at your fingertips. Still don't have your questions answered? We come back to the main screen. If you see that LTE cradle point modem on the device, that is the internet for the MailSecur. Keeps it air gapped from your network. It is not required for the machine to operate. The internet connection allows us the ability to remote in and provide support for the screeners, and all our updates are done over the air. So nobody has to come on site to provide any technical support for any software issues. Nobody has to come on site for software updates or anything like that. If a screener found something that they wanted a second set of eyes on, they wanted an opinion, when they hit that call EOD button, it doesn't actively call us. It pops up a phone number for them to punch in. They step to their safe area and have a call. The reason it doesn't actively call us, we don't want you standing over a suspicious item, having a phone call. It's just bad practice. When you give us that call, it's going to ring our 24/7 emergency number. It rings all of our phones at the same time. My background, military bomb technician. We also have undercover narcotics officers, former law enforcement officers on our staff that can answer that. It rings all of our phones at the same time. Typically, our screeners are telling us it's anywhere from 3 to 5 rings, and they're connected to a live person. You tell us the unit and location, we remote into the system through that LTE cradle point modem, and we can see and interact with everything here on the screen and work with the screener to help them understand how to screen it best, what the item likely is, and work with them based on their SOPs for what the next step is if they found something suspicious or they found a hazardous item. This number, also, when you call it, you have the option to skip the emergency and go to technical support, training, customer support, anything else. Excuse me. Steve, Stacy, is there anything that I've missed that you think would be pertinent for me to cover for them?
Could I ask a question? So maybe Steve, this will be for you. How do you handle the installation of the equipment and training when a customer purchases product?
It's a little hard to hear. Could you speak up a little bit?
Sure. Can you hear me now?
A little bit better.
Okay. How do you handle the delivery of the product when the customer purchases, and what does the training look like for a customer in a correctional market?
I'll actually let Rebecca handle that, as she specializes in the training for our screeners.
Yep, that's my go-to right there. So typically we allot for an 8-hour training day. We have an entire production team. We have our sales coordinators. So your staff will be kept up to date for the delivery. We'll have a kickoff call to where we explain how our training sessions go, and we'll invite all pertinent staff, and we'll have all staff from RaySecur on that call as well. When we do our installation and training, we'll schedule again for an 8-hour day. We'll come on site, we'll set up the device for you, we'll put it wherever you need it, we'll teach your staff how to set it up, and then typically within 2 to 3 hours, the staff's pretty proficient in how to use the device, and then from there, we'll do what we call our red hat testing or user proficiency. Right now, it consists of 50 training envelopes. 30 of them do not contain an anomaly or contraband, and 20 of them do contain contraband or an anomaly. We run them through that test, we give them a score, and we time them. From there, we'll screen your actual daily mail or anything that might have come through that might be suspicious. And then we give an official certification sign off from in-house RaySecur.
Perfect, thank you.
All right. Are there any samples that I haven't shown that individuals would like to see?
Miles, could you show the USB or SIM card?
Sure.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go over to our envelopes and flats screening mode. So what we have here is a 26 pages folded over. So we're looking through 52 layers of paper. We place it on the deck. Again, metal stands out. We're not able to see through it, so it's going to pop. What we have here is a metal clasp on the item. And if you notice this line coming up, it kind of pops out with a darker spot there. Screeners at this point would go over to the zoom to get a better idea what they're looking at. Here at the zoom, we just hit the 0 button and then we move it up. Here we can see the metal clasp of the envelope, and then we come up and we search all the edges. We're punching through those 52 layers really easy, and then we get to that corner where that line had kind of darkened out into a little protrusion. Now we see there's a dark item there. This is the same thing, 26 pages. In 22 of those 26 pages is cut out to have a USB-C. This is something that was found in a facility. Come to find out, the inmate had broken their phone charger, and the mailroom staff said he used inmate Amazon to order in a new phone charger. Just that USB-C charger bit, something that we had noticed when we were working with them. They got a lot of these type of pieces of mail, and the way that they opened them, they brought them out, removed the crease, removed the staple, and then they would flip through. But because they were pinching it and holding it because they already removed the staple, they didn't want the paper to go everywhere. When you flip it open, you don't actually see that portion. So one of the things that we're noticing is they're always watching how you screen the mail. If there's anything that you're doing that they think they can find a workaround to sneak something in, they're going to try it. With the MailSecur, we potentially closed a route of smuggling that they were using on a regular basis. Any other items that you'd like me to show?
Well, Miles, you got the big orange Crocs sitting right there. You gotta show the orange Crocs.
What's that?
The orange Crocs, the shoes.
Oh, the orange Crocs, yes. So as we talked about, we see through all sorts of different material. So you can use the MailSecur outside of the mailroom. You have the ability to screen potential items in your facility, commissary items, clothing items, things like that. So figure out which one's which. When you're looking at this, notice the lug pattern, the oval, and the heel. So we place this Croc on there. We can adjust the image and we see through it. But if we want that really good look, we're going to go over to the zoom. This one here, it takes a keen eye that's used to seeing this, but there is a darker spot in this Croc than there was in the other one. So we go over to the zoom. Again, notice that pattern on the bottom. We look at it, we see those lugs, we see that oval, and there's the heel. So this is a normal Croc. We toss the next one up. We have the lug pattern, the oval, and when you get to that heel, you see that shape coming through. What we have is an X-Acto blade shoved through the heel. The MailSecur can be used for inmate property. One of the things that we found in one facility, they were doing a cell search, checking his ramen noodle cups. Everything looked normal. And then they got to one that had what appeared to be 3 flavor packets in it. They're like, that's abnormal. It looked like the container was completely sealed. They investigated, found that it had been opened and contraband was hidden inside, and then they had found a way to reseal it. So once your staff starts to, again, learn normal from abnormal, it's the same thing when you move outside the mailroom. Normal, what a Croc looks like, what your inmate clothing looks like, bedding, blankets, sheets, pillows, things like that, and commissary items. You can run through the MailSecur to see if they've been tampered with, or if they have a hidden pocket that is concealing contraband.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, or chats in, we'll just give a couple seconds here, to run through this. Anything else Safeware wanted to add, please do.
No, I think we're good, Steve. Thank you to you and your team for helping us put this together. And we're hoping to get some really good response out of this and keep people safer.
Thank you, Patrick. Really appreciate it. And guys, we're here to help. We've dealt with hundreds of different correctional facilities really across the globe, and any way we can help make your jobs a little bit better and a little bit safer. That's our ultimate goal.